Are you, Jimmy? It's okay. Things are going to shit today.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Back to Jim.
So, Kurt, you know it's Pride Month, right?
Oh, of course.
It's Pride Month.
Yeah, it's my birthday week last week. I have a full birth week, and there's a Pride Month. It's not just a day of parades; it's a month of pride.
Of pride, and you know that the military-industrial complexes and the CIA and every raper corporation has surrounded themselves in the patina of morality and virtue because they're into gay pride.
Of course.
So our friend Ryan Long has done a very funny video about this.
I haven't seen this.
He's pretending to be a CEO of Raytheon, and he's here to let you know how much he's about pride, even though he's a straight.
Lockheed it is.
Or is it Lockheed Martin? Yeah. Okay, that's it. Sorry. Lockheed Martin. Watch this.
I'm the CEO of Lockheed Martin, and even though I'm a married man, to pledge my allegiance to Pride Month, I will personally be sucking off one man a day to completion to show my solidarity. That's right, I'm putting my mouth where my money is. As long as Lockheed Martin can continue to receive 10% of all funds paid to the Pentagon, I vow to receive 100% of a dick in my mouth for the next 30 days. As this company's head, I pledge to give head. This month isn't about drone strikes, it's about blowing Mike, Dave, and Tom, and 27 others. And this time, the explosion is going to be happening on American soil. We provided weapons to every war imaginable, and now I will be providing my mouth to one man's penis for the next 30 days. 30 days, 30 gays. And while we won't be making any changes to our war lobbying efforts, I will be making changes to the amount of space in the back of my throat in allegiance to the Mo community. You let us rinse the taxpayers, and now it's time for me to rinse you. Talk is cheap, but me sucking off 30 dudes is worth billions in contracts. If you're watching this message in Saudi Arabia, I promise you that I'm totally being ironic.
So that's back from 2023. That's his old schedule. You should go to.
That was the last Pride. How is Lockheed celebrating?
That was last year's Pride. How is Lockheed? I bet you Lockheed.
I think that's just how Boeing was celebrating Pride Month.
That was. I bet you they are celebrating it. That was very funny. Well done. Again, you could support LGBTQ people and think discriminating against them is wrong, which we do. And you could also do funny sketches like that to show how the evil people of the world exploit their support of the support and love of the LGBTQ community, because that's what that is. Very funny. Well done, Ryan Long. Everybody go to ryanlongcomedy.com. Is that his website? I think it is.
Lockheed Martin getting real for Pride Month. Hey, I'll tell you, let's get real. Here's who shouldn't be proud. Whoever designed that new pride flag.
No kidding.
It looks like shit.
You could tell it wasn't a gay person.
It looks like 4 furries took a shit in one diaper, and I'll stand by that.
What else does Lockheed Martin say about Pride Month?
Well,
they're getting real?
Yeah, they're getting real for Pride Month. Let's see. Discrimination is the poison pill for mission effectiveness. This is just some like horseshit. I thought it was going to be like decorations.
Oh, okay.
It's just like some talking head guy.
The CIA, the CIA has to be supporting Pride also. They all support it.
Yeah, I've heard of Kay Griggs talks about the Cherry Marines. That's a big CIA thing.
What is a Cherry Marine?
Oh my God, it's a whole thing. Let's just say there was a lot of pride going on.
There it is.
A lot longer than you think.
CIA Pride.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
See that? They put this Pride and then the CIA, the letters.
I got to wear my LGBTQ CIA shirt for Pride Month. I keep forgetting.
Look at that. Pride Month is an occasion for all of us at the agency to pay tribute to the rich history, community, and mission contributions of our LGBTQ plus officers.
Yeah.
It's
especially in Monarch programming.
The CIA's theme for Pride Month is welcome. Huh.
What? Wellness,
equity, LGBTQ plus, community, openness, and me. Welcome. All those that's, yeah.
Openness at the CIA?
The openness at the CIA.
You're going to open up your files and take a look-see.
If the truckers in Canada would have just flew a gay pride flag, I think that really Yeah. Okay. All right. Over to Steph.
Okay. If your focus is on getting personal apology and forgiving people who were blind, your focus is in the wrong place. It's not about that. It's about saving humanity.
No.
Thank you, SS.
No.
What's important is not that people apologize, but that they wake up and come into reality, because this shit is not over. SS. What is that one doing? That one upside down. Let's see. Give the capistocracy what they don't want. RFK Jr. Chris, thank you, Chris. Nukes are the biggest hoax foisted on mankind. Complete psyop. Roddy. The reason we need to think deeply about religion is because we're religious beings. We need a real connection to ourselves, our community, and the sacred. We can't escape worship, only what we worship. Thank you for that one, Roddy.
I think you can.
Remember, see something, say something, bunch of cunts. Look at you, Roddy. This is an incredible.
What was that?
See something, say something. What a bunch of cunts! All
That's
right.
great.
This is an incredible video deconstructing Yuval Harari's theory that Kurt mentioned about humans' rights. Just being a nice story. Thank you, Kikatwas. Heating Lebanese resistance has now run over 2,000 operation decolonized northern Palestine, killing 0 civilians and children. Hussein, Fauci, Dasik, Barak, etc. probably aren't going to jail. I read that one. Thank you again, John. First Minister sounded pretty hateful every time he said white reportable tail slate. Ultimately, we must realize it's not about us versus them. It's about each of us and how we were damaged in childhood and how we can heal. Thank you, SS. Tiller, what is the Secret Service code for change me, I'm dirty? Tiller. Tail Slate, I read that one. Neil Oliver's tuned. Great to see you have him on. Jimmy and crew just came in from the garden, but we'll definitely rewatch. Scoop. Thank you, Scoop. The 6-foot rule inspired by true science. Rocket Mummy. Continued, those parents are just doing what their own parents taught them. Generation after generation, we damage our children as we were damaged, and we are all in denial, delusion, thinking what we're doing is normal. Hannah, sir. Ultimate. Okay, ready. Hopefully sooner than later. Watch Neil all the time. But this was the best of both sides of the palm. Amazing. Blumpkin. Troll Toll, thank you. When I was a kid in the 60s, Arabs, Persians, and Indians were considered white in Atlanta. Oh, I read that one. Sparky, thanks again.
California, where they made they classified Mexicans as white so they could ship black students to keep it segregated.
Oh, really?
They said,
is
hey,
that
good
the
news,
reason?
Mexicans, you're white. So they could send black, yeah. It's like a whole racist thing. It's always some racist caste system bullshit.
Yeah. Hey, GDD says, breaking, a federal judge rejected a request to immediately shut down Alex Jones' Infowars media company as disputes in his bankruptcy.
Okay.
All right, back to Jim.
So I just want to remind, so they had the big debate with Chris Cuomo and Dave Smith, and Chris Cuomo is a liar. He's just a sociopathic liar. Today's the day of sociopathic liars on today's show, and Chris Cuomo is next up. Here he pretends that he didn't shame people who took ivermectin. You ready for this?
There was so much talk that they don't want you to take ivermectin. Ivermectin is the way to go. Take it. Joe Rogan got better from ivermectin. And by the way, I don't like what people did to Joe Rogan about ivermectin.
Okay.
I don't
You
like
did it.
No.
Yes, you did.
Find the clips.
Dude, find the clips.
Find the clips, he says. Find the clips. Guess what? They're going to find the
Shame
clip.
Joe Rogan.
Find the
you said
clips.
he's taking horse dewormer. You and Don Lemon were chuckling at each other about it.
No,
I'll go find
first
the
of all,
clip.
you just saw the clips.
I watched
I'm
it.
not chuckling. I'm listening to Don. But
No. The
here's
clip I'm
point.
talking about wasn't on there, and
Here's-
it's absolutely
look, we
there.
were
Here, do we have it? Hold on, let's play the clip.
Injecting drugs for animals and horse.
And people telling them to. Oh my God. What person? You talk about cancel culture and who to shame. Ivermectin, a dewormer, really?
They are shaming themselves.
That's what it is.
They're shaming themselves.
So you're taking a dewormer right now.
This
Chris,
is
you
a
can't
dewormer.
apologize for that. You weren't being clear that it was this,
right.
and you know that, dude. You're being so dishonest right now, man.
I'm not
You
being
were
dishonest.
talking about ivermectin
I'm not being
and drugs.
dishonest.
You were not talking about.
I'm not being dishonest. This guy is a know-nothing of him. It can't even fake having a reasoned demeanor. It's unbelievable. He doesn't want to admit that he was doing what he just showed him on.
This version of ivermectin. Come on. man.
So I'll show you a longer version of that. Ready?
Making people so resistant to reason and reliant on lies that they would rather try poison than a real cure. The FDA just literally had to remind some Americans, you're not a horse. You are not a cow. Why? Because
Why? The FDA had to remind some Americans that they're not a cow or a horse. First of all, why wouldn't they remind the doctors? Because you have to get a prescription. Why would they say that to people? Also, now get back into your enclosure and put on your blinders. Then get ready for more mandatory experimental injections, like a human being instead of a horse. Hey, that's what the FDA should have said to doctors.
Yeah, why didn't they say that to my veterinarian?
Yeah.
You can afford a doctor? You must be rich. I go to a vet.
You're not a horse or a cow, Kurt, but Cuomo is a lying pig.
Oh.
Old MacDonald had a pharma.
What?
E-I-E-I, no. How about that? Fine. So let's play
or
more.
taking a drug that's given to livestock as an anti-parasitic to treat or prevent COVID. It doesn't work. At least 2 people have been hospitalized in Mississippi after taking ivermectin. It is a dewormer. It's not a COVID cure. Please don't take it. The state's health department put out a warning saying animal drugs are highly concentrated for large animals and can be highly toxic in humans. And they should have said, and I don't know why they didn't. And this drug is not for COVID. I wonder if politics played into even that. The state's Poison Control Center has been receiving an increasing number of calls in relation to this. Why? Because somewhere on the righty fringe, they said this will do it. Forget about the vaccine. Look, people are literally insisting on making themselves sick. It is like a bad movie that we're all trapped in. Yes, this country is divided. Those who tell you otherwise, I don't get it.
He's sick now.
I know.
But define the division.
Now he's taking ivermectin.
Not left, right? Come on. Who defines themselves as that anymore? Those are just ideological extremes.
You do, Chris.
For the political class.
You just said it.
GOP
You're
or
the
Democrat.
political class.
Who calls themselves that anymore? Those are just teams in a bad game. This country is about the vaccinated and those who choose to put them at risk.
Bravo.
And here's the good news.
Bravo.
The vaccinated are this country. They are over 50% of every place and face. They've all done the right thing. So how long must the majority wait for the stubborn? How long must kids not get educated because a stubborn few won't learn the lesson about masks, refusing to protect their kids and your kids, especially when they know that kids under 12 can't even get vaccinated. So they need adults. They are dependent on adults to step up. How long must all lives be stilted at home and work, waiting on people who insist on making themselves and others sick?
All over a virus that was never a threat to children, never a threat to people. They
die from.
The average age of death from COVID, 82. It's just like Bill Gates said. Oh, well, it had a low fatality rate and it affected most of the elderly, kind of like the flu, but a little different. Well, and this is what he's doing over something that's Bill Gates says only affects the elderly, and it's kind of like the flu. And it has a low fatality rate. What's the actual fatality rate? I'm going to say it's less than 1%. Check me on that. But for a couple of years, they kept saying it was 3%, but you couldn't find out what the real case fatality rate was on COVID. It's way, way lower than people thought. And I'm ashamed I was ever afraid of it.
I got a question. We should be talking to whoever was writing the prompts for Chris Chroma to read.
Yes.
He's not writing that whole dialogue.
No, right.
Or even monologue. That's written for him. So who wrote that? Because his whole thing is, hey man, I'm just working here.
Yeah.
He's just a robot. It's like Ron Burgundy from Anchorman. That's a true story. That's how they are. You just put the thing in the prompter and they say it.
And now he's going to compare people who don't take the vaccine to January 6th protesters. Watch, I think. Oh no, that's it. So So I want to just show you this one more time.
You don't
There
think
was
that,
so much talk that they don't want you to take ivermectin. Ivermectin is the way to go. Take it. Joe Rogan got better from ivermectin. And by the way, I don't like what people did to Joe Rogan about ivermectin. I don't like
You
it.
did it.
No. Okay,
Yes,
good.
you did.
Find the clips.
Dude, find the clips. You shamed Joe Rogan.
Find the
you
clips.
said he's taking horse dewormer. You and Don Lemon were chuckling at each
So-
other about it.
no.
I'll go find
First
the
of all,
clips.
you just saw the clips.
I watched
I'm
it.
not chuckling. I'm listening to Don. But
No, because I'm talking about
That's
wasn't on
worse
there.
than
It's absolutely
chuckling.
there. Oh, here, do we have it?
Here it
Hold on.
is.
You're
Let's play
listening
the
to
clip.
Don.
Injecting drugs for animals and horse.
And people telling them to. Oh my God. What person? You know, you talk about cancel culture and who to shame. Ivermectin, a dewormer. Really?
They are shaming themselves.
That's what it is.
They're shaming themselves.
So you're taking a dewormer right now.
This
Chris,
is a
you can't
dewormer.
apologize for that. You weren't being clear that it was this,
right.
and you know that, dude. You're being so dishonest right now, man.
I'm not.
So when you are this disingenuous about what you said just a few weeks ago, I think it's going to be called a new medical condition. So you're going to be called comatose. Which is when you're too stupid to know what a piece of garbage you come off as. That's called comatose. And that's what Chris Cuomo is.
Okay, you know the basement that he was in for a month?
Yeah, and he lied about that.
Okay, you have to understand. That basement is inside of Chris Cuomo's mind.
That's right.
And whenever he is confronted with reality, he goes to the Cuomo place. He retreats into the Cuomo place.
That's it. Yes.
And then he didn't say it. That other guy said it.
That other guy didn't.
The guy who drives said it. I didn't say it.
I think it's bad. Here we go. Here's another Grabian put this together.
Apology? Of course not.
Of course not.
This was never as simple as vaccine good, vaccine bad.
Oh.
We have data to support the fact that there are thousands.
Even though he just said it comes down to vaccinated, unvaccinated. So vaccinated good and the unvaccinated bad. He just said that. I showed you the video. It never was that. He never shamed Joe Rogan. He never shamed ivermectin. This is amazing.
Of people who have had adverse effects that are not getting attention.
Be nice to the unvaccinated. Don't shame them. Let them learn enough. This country is about the vaccinated and those who choose to put them at risk. The vaccinated are this country. They've all done the right thing. So how long must the majority wait for the stubborn,
Who wrote that?
waiting on people who insist on making themselves and others sick? And there is no valor in being unvaccinated. Not getting vaccinated is what is unfair. This is on you. That it's good that you're not taking it to thwart the government trying to have a hand in your life. How much more are the vaccinated going to take from the vacuous as if it were some misplaced righteous cause? It's freedom. It's freedom not to take the vaccine because it's not about reason. It's about animus. It's about resentment. I mean, honestly, you sound like an idiot, so there's not much to say. But Tony, good luck with it. See you.
And so do you.
Calling people idiots.
Only for having you on the show. That was my only mistake. Look, it's just stupid. I'm pro-freedom. I hate that he's Italian-American, by the way, because it plays into his stereotype. This suggestion that somehow there is a strength in the resistance to the science, to the mandate, stupid, ethnic, stereotype, masculine, moronic thing to be. Because look, I don't think it's a coincidence that some of those who are soft selling the vaccine are also among those ignoring January 6th or trying to minimize it, have decided to be free to get sick. Because the idea that it's just about choice and volition, this isn't making you get a tattoo. If the freedom's so important, I'm free to be stupid. Byron Donald's not going to take it because he doesn't care what Biden wants.
If there are Americans like myself who choose not to, please don't berate me for doing that. It is a personal choice I have made. It's my own healthcare. I am allowed to do that.
Here's the thing, Byron. Do you have the right? Of course, nobody's debating that except you guys as a false choice. What I'm saying is it right? That is being dumb as a proxy for being bold, because you're seeing some kind of righteousness and a choice to do something that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And why shouldn't I get opportunities as vaccinated that you don't get as unvaccinated?
Oh, okay.
You don't want to get vaccinated. It's not because you know more about science. Just because you work in the hospital doesn't mean you're not susceptible to mis or disinformation or being vaccine hesitant. Amazing how selfish we have been in this situation when you think about it. And the selfishness, just in the simple statement of, I'm not getting it because, deep denial and selfishness. It is shameful.
Talk about
and to
denial.
be clear, by we, I mean you who are not protected
for yourself and loved ones yet. You guys are the issue, not the majority of the country that has already taken upon this task and now is being held hostage. There is going to be a consequence for irrational resistance. You being unprotected hurts my kids, hurts my mother. You are having your freedom stepped on because of those who believe freedom is about putting other people at risk. This is a tyranny of the unvaccinated. You have to have a vaccine passport. How are we going to know who got the booster and who didn't?
The booster.
We're going to have a way to track it. Ivermectin, a dewormer, really?
Yeah.
They need to be called out in shame. Well, so resistant to reason and relying on lies that they would rather try poison. You're not a horse. You are not a cow. Taking a drug that's given to livestock as an anti-parasitic, it doesn't work. Please don't take it.
I am taking a, what do they call it? Like a regular dose, you know, whatever. They're trying to build up of ivermectin. The entire clinical community knew that ivermectin couldn't hurt you.
So that was back when everyone was instructed to be a bully back then.
Yeah.
And so now that everything that he's peddled has fallen apart, he's now trying to come up with new ways to save face.
That's his Zeta Alter programming. But wait. Who is right? Because that's probably somebody from Pfizer or Moderna. Just like they write the bills.
Writing a script for
there's
Chris
somebody,
Cuomo?
He's just a guy reading ad copy like everyone else. But who wrote that for him? Because the way he genuinely doesn't feel like he said those things because it wasn't his words. He's reading what he's told to read. Like how an actor's like, hey, I'm just an actor.
I think he was freeballing some of it.
You could,
I think he was freeballing some of it.
You could see him freeballing a little bit, but the thing of like. You could hear the slogans of like, it is now a nation of the unvaccinated.
Yes.
There are no parties. Only that sounds crazier what he's saying than that Ukrainian trans spokesperson who was saying the wolves and the dogs shall come for the Russian. Like it sounds just like that. Same kind of writing. That person is now.
And so now that he got kicked off CNN and he's trying to find his life online and play, he has to now pretend he didn't be that guy.
He has to detransition.
Because he has to pretend he didn't aid in one of the biggest crimes against humanity in history that the online community knows about, right? And that's what so now he's fucked. If he was any more fucked, he'd be doing porn in Chatsworth.
I wish someone would ask him who wrote in what?
Chatsworth. You don't know where Chatsworth is?
No.
It's where they do the porn.
Oh, what?
It's out in the valley. Come on, baby.
Why would I know that? I'm not a degenerate.
I thought you had your
I
finger
don't care
on
about the workers, is why I don't know.
I thought you had your finger on the pulse. But so good on Dave. But the idea, I knew that Chris Cuomo was never going to. I mean, he just sits there and lies right to your face. Oh, I didn't say that. He's just like Fauci. I said that there was no scientific basis for it, and it just came out of nowhere. Ha ha!
They all act like an actor on a soap opera that you hate because they're the bad guy, and they go, no, that's just a role I play.
Yes.
Because it is a role that they play.
That's right.
And now he's trying to do his new role.
Yes.
And, you know, like, it's funny watching this. There's like this weird, I wish someone would ask him, because weird blank spot where they don't, like, he should be going, look, I worked on CNN and I said the thing. And remember, I didn't like my job. Remember, he said he didn't like what he did?
Yeah.
Did you notice how there's like 3 or 4 Chris's?
Yes, that's right.
So what is going on there? Someone needs to ask this because he literally thinks he didn't do it. You're watching him do that.
Well, that's what sociopaths do. I knew a kid when I was little. And, you know, you're always getting in trouble as a kid. We grew up Catholic. You're always in trouble for something. And I remember him telling me, he goes, you know, Jimmy, I can lie sometimes where I'm convinced of what the lie is I'm telling.
No,
I had a kid told me, and that's what that is.
Okay,
that's what a sociopath is.
But I'm just saying that's what our intelligence agencies, what that kid said to you, they have studied this for the entire Cold War. How do we make someone lie where they believe what they're saying?
And that's Chris Cuomo.
How do we make someone kill someone where they honestly think they didn't kill someone? You guys were talking to Neil Oliver about the passing the responsibility.
Yeah.
That's why they designed that program. That's why we're all supposed to be compartmentalized. That's why we're not supposed to be talking about this anymore.
Yeah,
that time is over.
That time is over.
Now, remember to forget trauma. The war's coming. Remember to forget gender. That's the MK Ultra shit. They did it to everyone. They started with some people. Those are the prototypes. And now when you're wondering why your friend Kevy Flynn can't remember things, that's why. He's probably a dipshit Catholic, right? That helps if you start out as a dumb shit Catholic, by the way. One of the best Mormon, second only to Mormon. That's some great programming.
Yeah.
And the government goes to Scientology. That's some fantastic programming. And the government went to all them groups. Cartels. They do some great work there. We work with all of them. Well, I'm saying we. I didn't do shit.
Yeah.
But your government did that. So everybody needs to wake up. We could be mad at Chris Cuomo, but I would really like to ask him, Chris, why is it that you think that's a different Chris? Because I'll bet the answer. And I'm saying it's like funny, but I'm serious too. Like, the answer is probably really scary. And it probably is. I
think the answer is more simple with guys like him, because those are the types of people
He's a political family.
But not only that, but he's a sociopath. And literally, I'm not making that, I'm not throwing that around lightly.
Right. Why?
I'm like, he's willing, he's just a liar. And you saw him he made up his own lie that he stayed in his basement for a month to get over, and he didn't. Everybody knows he was out.
I'm sure they told him to do that.
And
I'm sure he was told to do that by his job.
So.
Well, I'm telling you,
I don't think
nobody in the media can be on the media doing that.
I think
unless they get the program.
I mean, just like Chomsky said, I'm sure you believe everything you're saying, because if you believe something else, you wouldn't have this job.
And now Chomsky's fallen.
And of course Chomsky fell.
And now Chomsky's one of them. Get it? Yeah, no, it gets to everyone.
He was at MIT his whole career.
Yeah, no, this
is the home of the CIA.
Listen, it ain't a coincidence.
He did hang out with Jeffrey Epstein.
McGregor played that thing. That's the thing Colonel McGregor talked about that we played.
Yeah.
Just, that's a little teeny bit that poked out in that. This thing goes real far, and it's the entire media. Oh, is what's her name? Is PSYOP? Who's that stupid singer? Everybody goes back and forth.
Taylor Swift?
Yeah, morons. Your entire culture has been a PSYOP.
Their entire, yeah.
They design. It's very tightly controlled. Only two. Well, you can't control everything. No, I know. Trump won and Brexit happened.
Yeah.
And look at how they reacted.
Yeah.
As if they had been controlling everything up until that point.
That's right.
So everybody can, it's not that. No, it's that bad.
It's that bad.
It's that bad.
All right, over to stuff.
He's absolutely a
If I were Rabbi Shmuley and diddle-diddle-diddle-digga-digga-diddle-dum, all day long I'd diddle little bums. If I were a Shmuley man, I'd peddle all my dildos, dreidel dildos, selling dildos with my daughter and her mum. If I were a Jewish bully man, I'd be digging with a dildo in my bum. I'd wear a grotesque nose and go grab some goyim right on the nipple with a pinch. A Shabbos lap dance brace for the youngest mensch.
At this time, more than any other time, you know, revolution is necessary. It is necessary. Not only based on what has happened with the MOVE organization, you know, the babies that have been murdered, you know, MOVE adults that have been murdered, bombs being dropped on us, but past that to what is happening with all black people, so-called minority people, you know, money poor people. You know, this government, as has been said earlier, has waged war on us. But you know, something about us, particularly here in America, we don't really understand that. You know, we don't really know what war is. You know, for black people, for poor people, that people see as good, that they wasn't forced to do, that they didn't do to try to keep black people appeased, you know, and calm down so that black people wouldn't riot. A prison situation is a crystallized example of that. You can make phone calls in prison. They have movies in prison. But they don't have those things because they just want to be nice to prisoners. They have those things because they know damn well if they don't have, you know, people being able to contact their family, if they don't have, you know, facilities for people to sit there and watch movies, people are going to be frustrated, upset, and they're going to direct that frustration at them prison administrators. And they're going to have riots on their hands. You know, they're going to have people in them prisons turning them prisons out. That's why they have movies. That's why they have access to phones the way they do. And a stop to it when we don't like it, or encouraging it when it's something that's in our interest. You know, we have to call the shots. The people have to take the reins of this system and start dictating, you know, what we need, what needs to be done. And, you know, taking the initiative to do it ourselves. We can't rely on this system. I mean, you know, don't people see what's happening? Every single confrontation that MOVE people have been involved in, every single issue, you know, oppression, economic issues, every single issue facing our people, you know, is something that can be dealt with very, very simply. All people got to do is make their wishes known. All people have to do is stand up and say, listen, we're not accepting that. Unity is the key. Unity is the key to revolution. Revolution ain't nothing to be afraid of. It ain't nothing to shy away from. Revolution, contrary to what officials, you know, this system and those backing the officials running this system, you know, want people to believe that revolution means violence, you know, means blood in the street. I'm saying it can get to that point, but it don't have to be violent. You know, when people come together and take a strong stand on an issue, this government don't have no choice but to listen. Where you think they get their authority from? They don't have no power, but they do have authority to do certain things. Where you think they get it from? They get it from us, from the people. You know, they get it from us accepting the things that they do to be done to stop it. Then you have some people who want to then turn around and say, yeah, well, you know, it's the best we have, and want to make excuses. The time for excuses is over. It's over. You know, every man, woman, and child has to be involved in this revolution. Not only has to be, but is, whether you want to be or not. I mean, our babies gave their lives for this revolution on May 13th. You know, men, women, and children were murdered. And not just MOVE babies, you know. What about all of the young men, women, you know, children 8, 9 years old, shot down on the street by cops, you know, by drug pushers? I mean, you know, where do you think that mentality comes from? It comes from this system, from the mentality of this system of getting over, making a quick buck, I'm saying that's where that needs to be done to stop it. Then, what I want people to really, really understand is that it's past time. It is past time for poor people, black people, to realize that this system has failed you. It has failed you. You can't get nothing from it. And what people got to do is withdraw our support from it and start doing for ourselves. That's what we got to do. How long are people going to sit back and beg, this government to do what's right when for hundreds of years, all you've gotten is a slap in the face. All you've gotten is this government kicking your ass. That's all. That's all black people have ever gotten from this government.
Hey, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down there for more AM Joy and the rest of MSNBC. And click on any of the videos right here to watch the latest interviews and highlights. And you can get more videos from MSNBC for free every day with our newsletters. Just visit